Hey, what's up? Mario Brown here, and in this video I'm going to break down a little bit the webinar for you. Now, just to be straight up with you, this is not a in-depth how to do webinars course, okay? I have a separate training on that, but I do want to walk you through some of the slides and then show you what I did, how I did it, and just show you behind the scenes of a webinar that actually converted some cold traffic at a $9.97 price point. So I would say, let's just jump right into this. And like I said, I'm not going to go through each slide. I mean, you can always watch my webinar. I'm going to paste the link below this video. You can check it out and you can watch it, okay? Because real time, the webinar takes like 90 minutes. So if I would walk you through each slide right now explaining it, that just doesn't make sense. I would sit here literally for 6-7 hours. But with having said that, I want to over deliver in this course, and I do want to break it down for you. Also want to give credit where credit is due. In the past, I learned a lot about webinars from Taki Moore, Frank Kern, Russell Brunson. Then I came up with my own template, and this is a combination of all of them. But specifically here, the closing at the end is heavily leaned on Frank Kern's recent webinar template. I wanted to test it, and my next webinar I'm going to test Russell Brunson's webinar. And I kind of like to see what people are doing and pick what I like and then combine it with my stuff, and then you see what we have right here. That's basically a combination. But first slide here, it says discover how to create a fully automated lead generation machine, build an audience, turning traffic into high-paying customers and clients while truly making a difference. So basically you want to kick it off with a big promise, a bold promise, and then it says here, without the usual overwhelm, technical frustration, and lack of fulfillment. So this is usually good copy for your first headline. It's achieve XYZ without this hassle or this pain. There's always a cool way to start it. Okay, so make a big bold promise at the beginning, and then basically I hit them right away with proof. Not everyone does this. Sometimes people just jump right into the story. Sometimes they jump right into the content. I just wanted to right away keep it interesting. Too many people, they start the webinar right with a long story and people get like bored. I wanted to show them right away at the beginning. Look, I got some cheap leads here. This guy, Mike, has some cool proof here. He used the system. And we have this guy here who got a client right away. So people get excited. I want to show them, okay, this system actually works. And there's a little bit more proof. Then on these 3 slides, I just tell them what's coming up in the next 90 minutes. And then I talk about the reason why are they on this training right here? Why am I doing this right here? And basically I come up with a couple of reasons and explain to them some of the pain points that they might have. Okay, so as you can see here, lack of leads, lack of sales, lack of fulfillment, trading time for money, and we've been taught the wrong way. And then here I tell them how they're trying to do too many things at the same time. And then basically right here, I tell them that it can be a roller coaster. And I like to use big images and try to create a metaphor basically. Then I jump into who this webinar is for, who this training is for. So this is where you can kind of separate, because if you're selling something that's a little bit more pricey or maybe potentially high ticket coaching, you want to kind of disqualify people who are not a good fit for your training. In my case, I'm not too aggressively disqualifying, but I do make sure for people who are action takers, who want to make an impact in the world, but also monetize, that's who this is for. And then I say here, online marketers, coaches, speakers, authors, and then basically service, info, products, e-commerce, software. And then I give a disclaimer here. You can't really see it here, but in the slides, this would be one by another. And I just tell them that, I cannot guarantee any results, and just give them an FTC disclaimer right there. After that part is when I actually jump a little bit in the story. I keep it super short though. I think too many people spend too much time on the story, so I don't want to do that. So here I have a couple of slides where I tell them that I used my system to actually get results. But the cool thing is, while I do that, I'm also positioning myself and building, credibility and positioning, because I show them that I have a top-ranked podcast. I show them that I've been featured here with people like Tony Robbins in a magazine. I show them this image here, of a full house on stage. So, I'm building that credibility and positioning myself as the expert. While I tell them though, I still wrap it into content, telling them, hey, thanks to my system, I was able to fill events. Thanks to my system, I was able to get on magazines. Make sense? Cool. Then I tell them that I'm really passionate about, also contributing and giving back. And this is a true story here, a fundraiser that I'm starting. And, because this is something that I'm really proud of, so I shared it here as well. And then a little bit about my family on this slide right here. Like I said, I don't spend personally too much time on it, but, you do want to share a little bit, something personal. You don't want to come across just like a machine or something like that. And then basically now, all of this out of the way, this was a good, I would say, 10 minutes or so on the webinar, so still a little bit long. Now it's actually where we jump into the content, and I tell them 3 things that they're going to learn, and then I jump right into content and actually teach them in 3 pieces what it is that they're going to learn. Okay, and here this is up to you. You just teach here what it is that you want to teach. I like to use 3 things that I'm going to teach. Okay, and each section usually about 7 to 10 minutes ideally. At the 60-minute mark, the latest, you want to make sure that you transition into your offer if you have something to offer. But if you're running cold traffic to a webinar, I hope that you have something to offer. It's either an information product, could be $97, $497, $1,000, $2,000, or maybe you're selling high ticket coaching that you want to, where you want to sell, the phone call, where you jump on the phone with someone, and then on the phone you tell them about your options for coaching. You help them come up with an action plan, and then you can sell them into any services that you have to offer. Okay. So, like I said, the first 10 minutes I've spent on a little bit of proof. Then a little bit of positioning myself as the expert, why they should listen to me. Then a little bit of disqualifying, kind of like, hey, who this is for: action takers, coaches, speakers, authors, internet marketers. And then FTC disclaimer that my results are not typical. And then basically a little bit of story with some positioning again, so that people start to know, like, and trust you and bond with you as well on the webinar. I'm gonna cut this video short right now. I'm gonna do another video where I walk you a little bit through the content, and then we're gonna cover the offer, okay? But this is kind of like my intro to the webinar, and I recommend that you actually watch it, and then I dig into the content. So I'll see you in the next video, and we're gonna go through the 3 content pieces that you wanna have on your webinar. Peace out.